This is Cynthia Douthit with the Jewish Christian Studies Center. Thank you for joining me on this first of a few installments on the coming of the Messiah, the arrival of the Messiah, and what the rabbis and ancient sages have speculated about the conditions under which the Messiah was likely to appear. Some of these speculations are very interesting because it sounds a lot like our news today. The rabbis speculated on the conditions under which the Messiah would likely to appear. They decided he would not arrive on the Sabbath, since that would require people to violate the Sabbath in welcoming him. Many rabbis believed that the Messiah would arrive suddenly on the eve of Passover, the first redemption, which serves as a model of the final redemption. And we'll have a teaching on that a little bit later. This idea that the rabbis believed that the Messiah would arrive suddenly on the eve of Passover, the first redemption, which served as a model of the final redemption. One interesting statement from the time of the rabbis describes the era leading up to the Messiah as the darkest terms in societal corruption. That Messiah would appear during the darkest of terms of societal corruption. In the footsteps of the Messiah, arrogance will increase. Prices will go up. Grapes will be abundant, but wine will be costly. In the footsteps of the Messiah, the government will turn into heresy, and there will be no reproach. The meeting place of the scholars will become like a bordello, and the Galilee will be destroyed. The highland will lie desolate, and the border people will wander from city to city, and none will show them compassion. The wisdom of authors will stink. Sin-fearing people will be detested, and truth will be missing. The sages speculated the conditions under which the Messiah was likely to appear. Arrogance would increase, prices would be rising, the government would turn into heresy, the border people will wander from city to city, and sin-fearing people will be detested. Those who fear the Lord, those who fear God, those who want to do what is right by God's instructions. These people will be detested. Truth will be missing. Young men will humiliate the elderly, and the elderly will stand while the young sit. Sons will revile their fathers, daughters will strike their mothers, brides will strike their mother-in-law, and a man's enemy will take over his house. Basically, the younger people will have no respect for the elderly people. People will be ungovernable. They will be self-serving. The sons will have no shame in front of their fathers. And on whom can one depend? And the rabbis answer, only upon our Father in heaven. This is the first of our installment of the coming of the Messiah. And I think you'll find the next speculations just as interesting as these. Very timely when we look at the idea of the rabbis speculating on the conditions under which the Messiah would likely appear. They all seem to be coming to pass. May we pray for Israel and pray for our nation. Thank you for joining me with the Jewish Christian Studies Center, and I hope you'll tune in to more teachings as we look at the interconnection between Jews and Christians and the foundation of our truth.